There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With even more exclusive content, with over 150 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team. Get news. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy a favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.
So those dealers who are authorized Memphis audio dealers probably have a secret they haven't shared with everybody. Because I'll tell you, every dealer I've met is super passionate and super loyal to the brand. Why? Well, there's been a recent resurgence of energy poured into the brand. New product, new innovation, new look and feel. And maybe that's due to some of the leadership, and we'll find out today, because today we've got a ton of new product being dropped by Memphis Car Audio themselves. We'll have product expert and president, Mr. Nick LoMonaco, in the studio with us. This is going to be a good one, guys. CMA Showcase presented by SiriusXM, Memphis Audio, and it starts now. Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for tuning into this CMA Showcase presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and on today's showcase, we are going to dive deep into Memphis Audio because they've got a slew of new product that's being dropped right here on today's show. We've got the president on with us. It's going to be a great one because Memphis has really grown. It's not a new brand. It's been around for a long time. It was recently picked up by Automobility in Canada maybe a year ago, and it's been making a lot of noise. So let's scoop on that. Let's go ahead and invite our friend over at Automobility. He is their product manager, Mr. Steve Colombe.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Steve. Good to have you on again.
Thanks for having me.
Well, of course, and I was expecting you to be all tanned and everything. Did you just not go to Florida and visit K-Fest?
Yeah, last weekend was very good. Nice, finally, to go out in the field and discuss audio business with 12-volt business with other dealers. So.
And like human beings in person, like how?
Yeah, like face to face. It was awkward in the beginning. I have to tell you, we're trying to get back in the normal-ish side of things, right?
For sure. Okay. One question. Was it the fist bump or the handshake? Or was it weird?
It was, I got to say, it was the handshake.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah.
Handshake.
We went, a bit more on the dark side of things.
On the dark side. Next level. Yeah.
All
right. I'm kind of jealous, so happy that you went. Now, when it comes to Memphis, Automob picked it up. I'm going to say just over a year ago. Am I right?
Not far from 2020. Exactly.
There you go. So it's been a rock and roll 12 months. And, Memphis has been a great addition, as we've talked about before. But let's remind dealers, why Memphis and where does that fit within the huge Automobility offering in 12-volt mobile electronics?
Well, since last year has been filling, specific dealer needs that we had in that product category, like from, the entry-level speakers up to the high-end products, specific, product that were needed from all the dealers out there, that we may or may not have in other brands.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Memphis has a pretty wide catalog, right? We touched on it. Does marine, does power sports, does pro, it does so many different things. And then we haven't even talked about what we're talking about today, which is their biggest category, which is, of course, car audio. So I know you're a big fan. I remember us talking about this before you were even able to announce the partnership with Automob in Memphis. So now that you've been shipping out the product and you've had the chance to play with it and talk to dealers about it, what do you love most about Memphis going into today's presentation?
Well, again, the product offering, they have multiple product applications, from the party packs, the beautiful box designs, the direct fit speakers, even the sound bars. So it's a very, very complete and wide line. So
that's a lot to love. Listen, we have Nick LoMonaco in the back studio waiting to bring him on. But before that, we got a new video. So if you're watching now, pay attention. Lots of new product teasers being dropped in this video that we're going to go into depth. So you won't want to go away. We'll be right back. Let's roll the tape. Ooh, some real goodies in that one. We're going to find out what the scoop is and get more details. So without further ado, let's go ahead and invite the current president, Mr. Nick LoMonaco from Memphis Audio, to the studio. What's going on, Nick?
What's up, Ben? How you doing?
Obviously, I'm doing well, but I mean, you have to be excited. There's a lot we're going to talk about today, and it's all dropping right here. I mean, straight out of the gate, Nick, Memphis, I said in the beginning in the intro, there's like this new, fresh kind of energy coming out of it. There's been a lot of redesign, a lot of remodeling, new product, new categories. What is going on? Can you give us a little bit more detail what's happening and what's going on behind the scenes in this evolution of the brand?
Yeah, well, for a long time, since 1965, we've been in the audio game, making 4-tracks. And in the last few years, we really have taken ourselves to the next level. So everybody in our company, maybe with the exception of our credit manager, but everyone else is an audio guy. We've had audio in our cars before we had cars. We had the system before we had the cars. We just love audio. So we just really wanted to take the brand to the next level. We have a great relationship with our dealers in the United States, and now we're building our relationships back with Automob up north. And we just want to get as much product as we can to make our dealers money and get people excited about audio again.
That's amazing. And there's no shortage of new ideas coming to the table. There's no shortage of, trying to offer new solutions and new categories. It seems like it just keeps on coming in waves. And today, there's a whole bunch of new product you're dropping. Can you give us a quick overview of what we're going to learn about today?
We're going to learn a little bit about everything. We got a couple new amplifier lines. We got our DSP. We got sub boxes. We got some unique boxes that no one else has. I mean, we got a ton of stuff, and it's all new. It's all stuff that's just recently launched, recently got in the barn. So very exciting.
That is premium news. We love having you on, and we love talking about new product, that's for sure. So I'll tell you what, we have a presentation. We're going to bring that up. Steve and I are going to go away, so we'll leave you the stage for a few. And when we come back, we're going to dive deep and tear apart all these new products and what dealers need to know. So here you go. Take it away, Nick.
All right. Thank you. All right. Well, we're going to start running through it. I mean, as I mentioned before, this is all new product. So a whole presentation on new product is pretty awesome from my perspective. So we'll start out right now with our new Street Edge amplifiers. So this is our entry-level amplifier. This amplifier actually was brought to market for outside of the United States, both in Canada years back and south of the border in Mexico, Central and South America. And it was so popular that our domestic U.S. salesmen wanted to sell it in the United States. So we brought that into the States, and now we're on our second evolution of the amplifier line, and we've added an amp. So this is going to be a 300 by 4 channel, a 500 watt and a 750 watt mono. And the model numbers, they represent 4 times RMS power, typically at the entry level price point. That's what the consumer wants. So we pretend like the 800 watt amplifier does 3,200 watts, and it helps it sell. And then that moves us right into our new SRX amplifier. We'll talk a little bit more in detail about this later. The street reference amplifiers have been our tried and true. They were our entry level before the Street Edge. So this is a pretty wide line from 250 to 1200 watts mono. And then we have a 2 and a 4 channel. So great amplifiers for a first system. These also are the amplifiers that come in our party packs, our single 12 and dual 12 SRX party packs. So very reliable, great price point, good size for the power. And if you notice on the photo there, it has 100% more LEDs than the previous model. And we know that LEDs mean more power. So it's definitely an upgrade from the single strip of LEDs to 2. And you'll notice a trend in the Memphis line where we like to add LEDs because people like things to light up. So twice as LEDs, we'll just say twice the power. Probably the most exciting to me in our line is our new 6.5 speakers, our V2s. So the 6.5 speaker line, in the past, we had a coax and a component in 6.5. It was really our first entry into the high-end audio market as far as high-end sound is concerned. About a year and a half of development for the first generation, which came out a few years ago. And honestly, we went head to head with all the top guys in the high-end audio high-end speaker market. So we were A-Bing with anyone you can think of that really were speakers are $600 and up. And we did a lot of blind listening tests, and these speakers sound incredible. We made a few changes to the current or to the old model for the new version, improved it just a little bit more. Probably the most audible change, if you see on that picture of the left, the close-up of the 6.5 mid there, we've added a concentric ring to the surround, which I like to say it's ribbed for your listening pleasure, because all it did was make a great sounding speaker sound even more incredible. So we also added some models. So if you see here, this is a picture of our two-way coax, and then the second generation of our two-way component. And if you also notice, if you've looked at these speakers in the past, we didn't have any grill before, so now we have grills with these speakers. So this is going to be a sandwich of styrofoam and fiberglass for the cone, which makes it super rigid and super light. We have an aluminum housed silk dome tweeter, really awesome, clean tweeter response. And the crossover, if you look at there, it's biampable on the two-way. So if you want to power the tweeter and mid individually, you can do that, especially with our DSP that we'll talk about in little ways. That makes life a lot easier on top of that, even if you want to do it without the passive crossover. But the crossovers are amazing. They sound incredible. So whether you want to go active or passive, you're going to get a great sound out of these. And for the price point, there really is no one that can touch us in this category. Our speakers sound incredible, and they will compete head to head with speakers that are $2,500 and up. And depending on the size, we're talking $400 to $700 retail for our speakers. So you're not going to have a better value in the high-end audio market. And we'll show you one more. Here's the newest addition. The two new additions is we have the 3.5 component. This also comes with the 4-inch adapter plate, so it's really a 3.5 or a 4-inch component. Same tweeter, and then that 3.5 component is the mid in our three-way set, the VIV 603 CV2. So our first three-way component in the history of our line. We've sold some mid bass in the past, but we've never sold a three-way component that I'm aware of. If we did, it was well before 1995. That's for me to look. So it's our first real three-way component. You saw a shot of it in an A-pillar on the sizzle reel up front. I've heard these in a couple of installs, and they sound incredible. So if you've not had the opportunity to try these, please do. All right. Next up is our new Nano box. So this is an underseat sub 10-inch with dual passive radiators. If you take a look at the picture on the left there, I mentioned earlier, this also has 7 colors LEDs that you can switch that fire out the side of the passive radiators. The colors match our VIV amplifiers, the same 7 colors. And, you know, this is in my opinion, the best sounding underseat sub. It'll keep up with anyone's output for sure. You can go head to head with anybody. We'll be keeping up with outfit, probably a little bit louder. And then obviously with the LEDs, that's going to give us probably 3 to 4 dB louder just because of the LEDs. So keep that in mind as well. Staying in the enclosure world, here's a picture of our new 19 and up Mojo Mini Ram box. So if you're not familiar with our Mojo Mini box, truck boxes, these are dual 8-inch ported enclosures with our Mojo Minis built in. And our Mojo Minis are beefy little beasts. So they're 8 inches, 900 watts RMS each. So this box is 1800 watts RMS and absolutely slams. So we have 3 models currently. Our 4th model I'll mention now, but it's not here yet. It's in production. We have the 02 to 18 Ram box currently in production as well. So the 19 and up is in stock. The Ford and Chevy, they're in stock, out of stock. That really, we haven't been able to keep good inventory even before COVID because they're so popular. So the top there is the Ford box. The bottom is the Chevy box. Again, all 3 of them sound amazing. And it's the easiest solution for high-powered output, high output underseat boxes that also are the best value on the market as well. Staying with enclosures and ridiculous loudness is our dual Mojo 15 box. So this is a box that no one can even touch in the industry right now, preloaded at least. This is a dual 15 Mojo box that's RMS 3000 watts. You see a picture, it's side ported there. This thing is a casket. It's like 160 pounds and it is just stupid loud. The first pre-production sample we had at the SEMA show last year, and we plugged it in, and like the whole entire North Hall turned to us and was like, what the heck was that? We honestly weren't prepared for it to be that loud in the North Hall in Vegas, but it's a box that's just stupid loud. So if you want, this is the perfect box. If someone says, I want to be loud, this is the box. If they've got an SUV, put it in a Civic if you can fit it in there. It'd be stupid loud in that. But this is our Mojo's been known to be one of the loudest woofers on the market for a long time. And now we just made one of the loudest boxes with the beautiful piano black finish on the front and then the nice orange embroidery. So stands out with branding as well as sound. And then staying with enclosures, moving into the more versatile enclosure. This box was originally called the Woo Box because Ben reminded us that we didn't have a name. We were so excited for this box and so excited to show it off that we kind of forgot to give it a cool name. So we're kind of between names at the moment, but reason Freedom Box came up is because this box fits anywhere. It can go anywhere. So this is a marine grade box. It's got an active 10, 2 passive radiators. Again, you notice that's 3 cones of LEDs. So imagine how much decibel output you get when you have 3 different cones, all with RGBs. It's just unmatched in the market for sure. But this is fully marinized, both passive and active. So the active comes with a 200 watt amplifier with volume control. The passive, it's a 300 watt sub. So the passive you can hook up to 300 watts. And the passive also has our selectable voice wheel technology. So you can swap between 2 and 4 ohms on the box, make it real easy to match up with the amplifiers that you have available. And if I'll show you a picture of this cool box installed here. So here it is in the back of a Razor. So this Razor had actually our vehicle specific kits in it, and it had a sub inside the cab, and then we also added this in the bed of the Razor. Absolutely slammed. So this is great for side-by-sides and marine, but also it's a great Jeep box. Most of the people I showed you right away say, I want that in my Jeep because it'll look great right behind the seat. And if you do ride with the top down, it gets a little moist. You don't have to worry about it because it is fully marinized. And if you look at that photo there, this is the passive box. So the wire coming out is fully sealed with your RGB and your speaker terminal. And then the terminals on the side there are to set the jumpers for either 2 or 4 ohm. So just like most of the woofers in our lineup now, makes it extremely versatile to hook up regardless of the amplifier you have, whether you have our amplifier or you made the bad decision to get another brand of amplifier, you can still use our box and get the right power to it. So very excited. This box is actually on the water now, finally. And we couldn't be more excited. This is probably Mojo mini boxes and this box are probably the two most highly buzzed about products that we have in our line new this year. Moving out of enclosures and more into the technology world, we have our DSP. So this is our VIV68 DSP. So this is a 6-in, 8-out DSP. This is a pretty unique piece because what we like to do in the Memphis line is, with most of our new products, is we try to find the products that can make our dealers money, that solve problems, and because we're not big in the DSP game, we try to get all the features that we can into one box, the top features. So instead of adding a bunch of features that only a few people want, we try to add everything that the average dealer or the everyday sale will include. So this DSP has signal summing. It comes with the digital remote in the box. It comes with Bluetooth in the box. It has high level Bluetooth in, optical in, and low level in that you can switch through on the fly. And then of course it has RGB output, 7 colors that match the amplifiers. So, I mean, immediately right there with the LEDs, it should be $200 more, but it's not. The LEDs we give you for free, and we make them switching colors. So, so much in one box. We'll show you this in a bit, give you a little bit more information on it. But I made a claim on another episode that we had the easiest to use DSP, and I still believe that. And I got that from my customers when I demoed this piece for them over the last few months. So right here, you see a screenshot of 3 of the app screens. And the reason I say this is so easy is I've been in audio. I had my first system for my first car, as I mentioned, but I'm not a DSP guy. I've sat through DSP trainings and my head explodes. Even just trying to set it up, my head explodes. So there's a ton of guys in the industry that are awesome DSP guys. I'm not that guy. And after doing some research with some of my customers, a lot of people that do awesome work for us, install some crazy systems, they're not DSP guys either. They don't have much knowledge of DSP. They kind of get scared away from it, kind of like I did when I was in trainings for it. So we try to make ours as easy as possible. If you see here on the left, the number 1, that's your main screen. So you've got a volume knob, the round, and then the sub slider, so you don't mess up whether it's the sub or the speaker output. And then below that, there's 6 presets. Set the presets. You can switch that up whether you're listening to booty shaking bass, you want to listen to some Sinatra or some rap music. You can switch your settings however you want. Switch the tunes. The second box shows you the crossovers. And again, we try to make it super, super easy. So everything's touch. Wherever you see something, you touch it, and then a bigger screen pops up and you change it. You want to change the type of crossover. You want to change the frequency range. You want to change the slope. Just touch it, pops up, and you change it. The third one, this is our full 31 band EQs. We have 31 band EQ per channel. This is both graphic and parametric. So if you notice there, you only see 5 sliders. Well, we do that so it's much easier to use on your phone or tablet. So you can slide left and right all the frequency range, but your total EQ still is visible at the top. So that way you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to fit your finger across 31 different bands on a tiny screen. Makes it much easier to use. So at the bottom, you just touch the output channel and adjust the frequency, adjust the frequency you want. And again, you can adjust the Q, so it's full parametric and graphic all in one. And then here are the other screens. Again, very, very simple. Your time delay on the left, your outputs in the middle here. You can link outputs if you want. You can adjust your outputs to level everything exactly how you want if you've got an RTA. And then on the far right, this is the mixer. One of the craziest things for me that always scared me about DSP was trying to understand how to get the right ins to the right outs. But with ours, the mixer is very, very simple to use both on the computer and on the app. So if you see that picture there, it's on channel 1 and it has your inputs there. And all you do is just click which inputs you want outputting on channel 1. So I was able to set this up myself in less than 15 minutes and was already working on tuning it. I didn't have the instructions. I wanted to try and do it without the instructions to figure it out. And I was able to. If I had the instructions on me, I probably could have done it in less time. And from showing this at Knowledge Fest in Las Vegas earlier this year, Knowledge Fest in Indianapolis, and a couple of other regional shows we've done in the States, I have some dealers that have never used DSP or maybe used a DSP once. And since then, I know of multiple dealers that have done 5 and 6 DSP systems, and they never would have, if I told them a year ago, you're going to do 5 DSPs in the first few months of 2022, they'd have said, no, we're not DSP people. Well, now they are. When you have signal summing, you got a wide range of inputs to make for OEM integration or for just a high-end system. If you want to use an aftermarket radio, it does everything you need for the majority of installs out there. And then here's a quick screenshot of the PC version. Very, very easy to use, similar to the app. I mean, the EQ here, this is just a screenshot, but you can just grab and drag this EQ, make it wider, make it tighter, however you want. All your sliders down here. Stuff that's as simple as flipping phase with the push of a button, muting an output with the push of a button, making it easy for install. On the fly, link 2 channels together. If you tune the right, link the left together. Bypass your EQ. So if your EQ sounds like you don't know if it sounds even better than the last one, just bypass it real quick. It goes right back. We try to make this as easy to use and as installer friendly to use as possible. And so far, the feedback we've gotten from our dealers just validates that. And we'll talk more about it and show you the LEDs in a little bit. So,
oh my God, I give you the LED Manufacturer Incorporation of the Year award. How's that, Nick?
I can't wait for the trophy.
And I quote, 300% more performance due to the LEDs.
I mean, it's just science. I mean, you can Google it.
We've seen it before.
Okay. All right. Let's put away this presentation, Nick. Wow, that was a lot. I've been writing notes ever since you started it. I think we have to circle back and talk about every single item you just dropped, because you did, it was an overview, but I have pretty specific questions. Let's start with the amplifier. So you said that for that first series that you shown there, it's a new series for US and Canada, or was it already available in Canada before? That's what I wasn't understanding.
Sorry, but it was actually launched in Canada and Mexico a few years ago.
Okay.
And then we brought it to the States, and now everybody's loved it in all of North America. So we now have the second rendition of it.
Right, so this is like version 2.0 that's about to drop.
Okay. Yeah. Canada and Mexico loved it so much that we needed to bring them a new one. So we did.
All right. And now, did you have one of those on hand to show?
I don't have one of those, but I do have the SRX amplifier. Which
and what generation of that series is it now? Is that also the second?
No, this has been in the line for a while. I think it's been in line for maybe 12 years. So 4th or 5th.
Wow. Okay. So this is an evolved line, no problem. And let's take a look at that, because the very clean design. Now, I was going to say entry level, but I guess it's not really entry anymore, because the other line is now entry. This is, I guess, number 2 in the catalog, if you will.
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
So this is our 500 watts, so you can get an idea of size. That's a 13 Pro Max sitting on top of it. iPhone 13 Pro Max to give you an idea in size. So it's not a very big amplifier for the price point, and 500 watts. It's a pretty awesome size there. And then again, note, not one, but two LED
strips of LED. Now, let's be clear. Are those RGB LED strips?
No. You gotta get into the higher end before they're RGB. So
entry level LED game. Let's be clear.
Yeah, we tease you with the single color at the lower price points.
I noticed there's a new
stage 1 LEDs.
Right. Mm-hmm. But you know what? We're joking about it, but I think it's become kind of a thing that consumers are expecting, because like everything right now has, LED attached to it, and that's just the truth. It is what it is, and it does look cool at night when you show up and you want to show your buddy the system and it all lights up. I mean, come on, no matter what you say, it's kind of neat. Having said that, this is a pretty extensive line. Like this is kind of the bread and butter, right, Steve? When it comes to the entire the amplifier lineup.
It is, yeah. As far as the entry level, PR line is very popular as well. But yeah, this one is one of the best-selling ones up here in Canada.
And it's really clean. It's simple. You know, this is not the super high end performance one or super big power, but really good power ratings. And I think this one, what you're getting is great cosmetics, good size, and great value. Is that about right, Nick?
Yep, that pretty much sums it up perfectly.
All right, and that's new. So, so two new line of amplifiers already announced today. Let's move on to the boxes. Steve, I understand you might have a box or two we want to talk about. Let's start with the. I don't know which one you want to start with. You tell me.
We have actually two of them here. We have the Nano box and we have the one of the truck boxes. So let me just.
Let's take a look at the Nano box.
All right. So Nano box that Nick presented earlier. It's a heavy one.
So that is meant to go, just so I'm clear, because this is kind of a new category for me. I've never actually played with these, but I see they're popular. This is for like the quick fix under the seat solution, right, Nick?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's for. Under the seat, behind the seat of a small SUV or something, because it doesn't take a lot of space, but gives the output. I always kind of put it out there like take a factory sub and double the output, and that's pretty much one of these.
Now, as far as connectivity, I mean, that's meant to integrate, right? So you could, does that have like high level in as well, a built-in crossover and all that stuff?
Yep, it has all that to make it high and low level input, and you got your subsonic, low pass, everything, and your phase adjustments.
And but still, I can see there's some proper inputs there for power and ground. I mean, that's not like it's still you still need some decent wiring. You can't just put like thin wiring there either, though.
No. I mean, we recommend nothing smaller than real OFC 8 gauge on it to get you solid 300 watts out of.
That's LEDs.
Yeah.
Geez, Steve, why couldn't you light it up like Nick did? Then we would see.
Nick has the budget. We're on the budget here, so both sides.
Right. You know what? I'm a baller now, Steve. I'll spend the $18 and send you a 20 amp power supply for next show.
I gotta tell you, yeah, you stepped up your game, Nick.
Oh my goodness! All right, so under seat, kind of an interesting category, and Memphis got you covered in it. Now, what is this behemoth that you've got behind you?
A heavy fella.
Look at that. Let's take a look. See, those Mojo subs are so darn sexy. I have to give it to you on that one. Two of them on top of that.
Yeah, Steve's showing you the Mojo Mini 6 D1T. So this is a dual 6.5 down firing. So he wanted to show the Mojo Mini RAM box, but his table's not too big. And Steve's probably got to hit the gym a little because it's a heavy box. This box is very versatile. So this can go under a lot of truck seats and go behind a lot of single cab.
Is this a universal fitment, Nick? I'm sorry, just back up a second.
Yeah, this is a universal fit. I didn't talk about this one in the main. We talked about the vehicle specific Mojo Mini boxes, but this is a universal fit. So if you see there's a wedge. It's a wedge box to get fit behind single cabs, underneath a lot of truck seats, and then it's an awesome Jeep box because it just disappears behind the rear seat. You can't even say, if you were to look in, you wouldn't even know there was a box there because it's basically the same height as the seat. Wedges perfect in there. If you can show Steve on the bottom of the box, there is mounting holes and it comes with brackets.
We're just going to ask, how does Memphis deal with mounting these type of boxes? Because obviously you don't want this just floating around, right?
It's going to be a
no.
There's all right.
Oh, you got some help there. You got some help there. That's good. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So you have to bolt this down.
Yeah, show that again. All right, there you go. And that comes with the hardware, Nick?
Correct. Yes, it does. The grills come with it. The hardware comes with it. Because in the back of a Jeep, it's great, but if you don't bolt it down, it's just going to bounce up and down.
Yeah, you don't want that
in the trunk. So
I mean that box series. So you got some universal applications like that one, and you have the application specific ones, both in the old and new Ram, the Silverado, and the Ford F-150. And is this a line that you're looking at expanding on? Because it seems like you're finding great success with this series.
Yes, it is. Like we're working on more boxes all the time, trying to figure out the best rhyme and reason for which models we come out. Talking to a lot of our dealers, talking to looking at what the truck manufacturers are doing, because we have a wide range of 6.5 and 8-inch boxes that'll fit in the majority of trunks, and those have been very popular. Just a generic round square shape, because of their size, they've been popular even in regular car applications because you can get more output out of a smaller box. So we're definitely continuing to look at new applications all the time for this line.
Very good. And how is the dealer reception on these boxes, Steve, from your perspective?
It's been so good that we have a hard time keeping him on the shelves, especially the vehicle specific ones. They've been very popular.
So you've brought them in and they've gone right out.
We have a lot on, even still on pre-order. On back order right now. So as soon as they come in, they go out. So
Make
dealers.
more.
Well, if you want some, put them on order. So at least when they come in, you have one, you're secured. So.
Very, very good. And they look hefty. Like I feel like when you put that in a customer's hands, they'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. Value, got it. And then I just want to comment on one more thing. I noticed you didn't go with carpet. Is that like a textured type finish, Nick?
That one actually is carpet.
That one is carpet.
The others are more of like the bed liner
for
the trucks, because they're more. I mean, they're under the seat. You're gonna get kicked and stuff. So we tried to make it a little bit more, sturdy.
And those logos that we see, those are like embossed into the mold of those enclosures, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Nick, let's go back to you. This is going to be one of my two favorite things to talk about in this episode. Not that I don't find amplifiers and boxes interesting, but can we talk about that sexy three-way set for a second, please? Like those VIVs or what, I'm embarrassed to admit this right now, but I just realized that VIV stands for 6'5".
Yes, it's actually not done correctly for the Roman numerals, but it looked cooler. So
I just figured that out right now as we did this. But so first of all, I've had great feedback about the original set, right, which is a 6.5 component set. Now you've added two other options: a three-way, which incorporates a 3.5 inch, or you can purchase a just tweeter and 3.5 inch. Correct?
That is correct. Yes, and that 3.5 does come with the 4-inch plate to make it work.
So you can make it work with either in a 3.5 inch hole or a 4. And obviously the crossovers will be dependent on which kit that you decide to buy. I have two questions on this. Number one, is the three-way kit biampable or triampable?
The three-way kit is not. The three-way kit is just pure passive, but there is quite a few adjustments on there. So we can switch the woofer output on there. So Ellis, one of my sales managers, I think he's been on the show last year. Mm-hmm. He has a brand new F250. Little side note here: if you have a brand new F250, they're very expensive, and you still have to use a key. It's so weird. But anyway, that's just a side note. He has his running fully active in his truck with our DSP, so he can completely. I mean, to be honest with you, they do sound great with the passive crossover, because we put a lot of.
Like that is, I want to take note of this. That crossover is nothing to sneeze at. It is loaded with componentry, and it looks good as a crossover. So it means business, for sure.
Yeah, the speakers sound incredible with this crossover. You can get a little bit better sound if you tweak it with the DSP perfectly for your setup. But yeah,
I want to make a comment. I need to make a comment here. Prepping for this show, I did my own research. I actually called up Bryce Lewis over at Last Resort, and I asked him about his experience with this three-way kit. And he was like, Ben, if a customer wants to spend the money, for sure, DSP, multi biamp, that's the way to go. But he's tested it with the passive crossover, and he says, dude, you don't even need a lot of power to make these things sing. That's what Bryce told me. So I wanted to give you that feedback, Nick.
Well, that's great to hear. I was actually, the first time I heard him in Ellis's truck, I couldn't believe the output, to be honest, because the first model sounded great, but it definitely wasn't known for being loud output. I mean, they're an SQ speaker for sure, not an SPL speaker. But then, especially with the three-way, I mean, the two Mojo Mini 8s have a problem keeping up. I mean, you got to tune it right, which is crazy to say, because those two subs absolutely slam. So them struggling to keep up, or just keeping up, is pretty crazy.
Amazing. And the new grills, really unique design. Again, something a little bit different, which I'm starting to expect now every time Memphis comes out with something. Nice design cue on that. I want to mention that as well.
Appreciate that.
The other thing I want, while you have the camera out there, can you swap out that new unit, that DSP? Because for me, This kind of surprised me in a different way. I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it. All of a sudden, you come up with this DSP thing, you drop it on our show, and you make claims about how it's going to be the easiest one in the market, so on and so forth. So, again, did my little research, talked to some people. Yeah, you know what? The DSP is easy to use, man. That's what I've heard. That controller is also a nice piece to have included. A lot of DSPs out there don't have a controller. Usually, it's an additional add-on. And even at that, the add-on doesn't necessarily have as much functionality as this one does. Especially, and I'm going to, you know what? You're right. This might be the only DSP with RGB control. You have me on that one.
Yep. And it's hard to see on the cameras, not liking it, but as you can see, I think you can tell I'm scrolling through the colors with the controller. So
that was one of the smartest things. I mean, again, who would have thought of that? But Steve, you have to admit, to have an RGB controller built into your DSP controller is kind of really makes sense.
It's attention to detail. I gotta say it's pretty unique.
So well, that came about because a lot of new vehicles, they have multicolor LEDs on the inside, and I know a lot of companies are making some those fiber optic LEDs, adding to make it look more like a brand new OEM. And now if you've got a cool system and you don't have that, now we make it real easy to put it together.
So, and here's the thing with the DSP. I hear you're not making claims to be the most, complex DSP out there or has the most features or functions, but what you're saying is that this is a DSP for people who might have been shy to use it or beginners to DSP because you've made it as easy to use as possible. What kind of support or training are you planning to provide for dealers that this might pique their interest?
We actually have a couple of trainings we have planned to film and make available to our dealer base. And then we also have a bunch of support materials. So even after setup, our inside guy that's a big DSP guy, he's giving you everything you need for spend $100 on Amazon, gives you all the additional tools to be a tuning guru on top of that and make it just real easy to set up on our end and then to tune it with a couple of other additional tools that don't cost a lot of money. So we're gonna have that available and send that up to Steve pretty soon.
Very, very cool. And I noticed that you've decided to go with the VIV look and feel for the DSP unit. Any reason for that?
Well, we wanted it to look good and we wanted to be able to show it off. And so if it's right next to our high-end amplifiers, this is our best processor next to our best amplifiers. It's family look and looks great together.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you for bringing that. And we'll be absolutely circling back to this DSP in particular during our DSP sessions. And we'll be able to dive a little bit deeper through all its functionality and program and so on and so forth. And that's coming up soon, I believe next month. Okay, let's review a couple clutch features that we want to make sure dealers know about when it comes to unique features that Memphis offers. Can you name off a few to remind the dealers, Nick?
Well, the first one that we got to talk about, we always talk about, is our flex technology. So selectable voice coils. We mentioned that on the Marine box, the Freedom box. Patented. No one else does it like we do. Dead nuts, 1, 2, or 4 ohm. Only have to stock 1 sub per size. That's huge. And then Steve likes on the other side on the more focus on the dealer side is our PRX full range speakers. If the dealer installs them, it's a lifetime warranty. I believe there might have been a couple companies that have tried to copy us and done that, but we've had that in our PRX line forever. Dealer installed, lifetime warranty, which is awesome. And the speakers don't break. So putting them in with confidence.
Lifetime warranty at an intermediate level price, so if it's a pick up and go or DIY, that doesn't count. It has to be installed by dealer.
Yep. Yeah. So if it's a 1-year warranty, if it's over the counter. We incentivize our dealers to install them. We know it's going to sound the best if they do it. So that's why we incentivize for that.
That's amazing. I'm going to go on the record and saying I've never heard of such a ridiculous thing. So congratulations. And hooray to Memphis dealers for taking advantage of that. That's awesome. We've come to the end. We've gone through the checklist of all the new products. A couple of them we're going to be circling back with to dive deeper on. So Nick, now that you've got all this information out, what is your final message for dealers who are not yet Memphis dealers? What are you going to tell them to go for it and flip the switch?
You got to check it out. Call them up, get a catalog, go to our website. We're launching a new website here in a week or two. That'll be much better. So actually don't go to the website for about 2 weeks. After that, go to the website, see the product we have, give us a try, because if you haven't looked us in a while, you don't know what you're missing right now.
There you go. There you go. On that note, Mr. LoMonaco, I want to thank you again for the effort put in and your presence today on the show. Congratulations on all the new products that you've announced today. And we certainly look forward to circling back with you as we, I believe, the next session we'll be diving into your DSP.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben.
Take care, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Bye.
That was Nick LoMonaco, president of Memphis, giving us the rundown on what's new at Memphis Audio. Mr. Colomb, of everything that you saw today, what was your favorite pick?
There was a lot of interesting picks. I gotta say the Mojo boxes for trucks, because it's an area that is very in demand right now. So yeah, the vehicle specific enclosures. That's gonna be my pick for today.
I would definitely go with those as well, but I'm going to say for Memphis to put in the energy and research and go out there and develop an easy-to-use DSP for their customers, I'm going to say that is probably going to be my pick, but I'm torn between that and that new three-way VIV set. They already had a reputation of being performing way beyond their price. Talked to many dealers about that, and now with the new improvements and the three-way option, I'm going to say toss up between those two. How's the feedback been, man? You've talked to dealers, you've had it for a year. What are dealers saying about Memphis right now?
Feedback has been very good, great, I'd say, since we brought back the line in 2020. A lot of ecstatic dealers that were happy to see Memphis back into the Great White North. It's been out for a couple of years, away for a couple of years, I'd say, and dealer base is growing. New dealers coming on board, learning about the line. It's a complete line. So I guess, listen, it's after all we've been through today, it's a good line that a dealer can carry from a budget customer to a audiophile customer. So for marine power sports, so they got it covered.
Pretty much got it covered. I'm going to give you props, Steve, because I know you were behind cementing that deal and getting it in an auto mob. So I think it's worked out pretty damn good. So congratulations on that. If you're looking for information on Memphis products, go check out the website, but not yet. Like Nick said, wait 2 weeks because there's a new website coming up. But we're going to throw up anyways. MemphisCarAudio.com is the URL. And if you're a Canadian dealer and you're like, I want me some of this Memphis stuff, especially that LED technology. I can't even say that with a straight face. Go ahead and give the guys at AutoMob a call, automob.ca. Steve and his team will make sure to sign you up and get you all set up with a Memphis account. Steve, thank you so much for coming on once again and sharing with us some insight on Memphis Car Audio and AutoMob.
It's my pleasure, man. Have a good one.
Take care now.
Yeah.
All right. So, got to remind you, right through till June 29th, we are shifting gears a little bit. We are now moving on to mobile audio accessories and video. We've spent a month talking about car audio. It's time to start talking about something else. So many different categories to talk about, so many different brands to cover. We go deep one-on-one with one of those brands each and every day. And if you miss it, or you like the videos, go to cmanetworks.com. We've got a library of hundreds of videos that we've produced for every brand imaginable. You can search for them by brand, by category, or by your favorite trainer. Check out Mr. Nick LoMonaco. He has his own profile on the site and see all the videos that we've done together. That's it. Thanks for tuning into this CMA Showcase presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
Stop it.
Yo, roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to SiriusXM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on SiriusXM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?